What is this? A new
Oh.
Gears of War game? Is this a next Gears of
bring,
War game?
I didn't bring my umbrella. It's so wet.
Oh, they speak Japanese in next
Oh.
Gears of War game.
It's Jin Kazuma. It's Kazuya Mishima.
They're so wet. Kazama-jin.
They're very wet.
Like super. But yeah, like it's Tekken. It's Tekken 8. They announced Tekken 8, and also has like has Jtegh. We have like Ryman, and we have Icewave.
Look at the doll. Look at the doll. Look at it.
They told us to get ready. We were not ready for this.
Oh, they did the Super 6 thing. They did the Super 6 thing there. Like that's
the muscles.
Yeah, like the muscle thing.
If I remember right, when they do like the fighting game roundtables, I think it brought up multiple times that a lot of the developers like look to Street Fighter.
What?
When they make like when they do those fighting game roundtables, the Japanese developers. I think might have been Harada who says it. Like they often, or maybe it was multiple of them that said like they often look at Street Fighter and like what they're doing.
Oh, well, they certainly did in this case.
And yeah, this kind of makes it apparent. Yeah, they definitely looked at Street Fighter 6 and went, "Hey."
I just wanna point out quickly, like if your muscle does this, you should probably go see a doctor. Like this doesn't look normal.
Like I find this unnerving. I don't like the bulging muscles.
You also have to remember this is Kazuya. He has the devil gene in him.
He flicks so hard that like the raindrop was exploded off him. That's kind of impressive.
Also, I just want to point out this is the first time Jin has had new grunts in a Tekken game since 2001.
Oh wow. But yeah, this looks like a pretty big step up graphics wise.
Yeah, I saw something briefly that this game is fully developed from the ground up, not using any Tekken 7 assets.
Kind of, I'll be impressed if they reanimate all the animations from scratch. Like there's definitely some. I feel like there's new animations here, like some redone animations. But I'll be impressed if they redo all of them because that would be insane. Also, that would be a first for the entire Tekken series. I'm not sure if they've ever done that.
They haven't.
Animations maybe not, but I think like model assets wise, like that's definitely like all new stuff is, or at least that's what Harada has said. And there it is, current gen only.
So far.
Tekken Project.
There are a few things that I kind of noticed briefly. Mainly with like Jin, which is that he seems to like now have full control of like his devil gene, like his devil Jin persona essentially. Like he actually seems to have it under control. So that's
his devil genes.
Yes, which was hinted at the end of Tekken 7. When he showed up and he was like, yeah, I guess I'll just go beat up my dad in like the next game. Sure, let's do that, I guess.
Yo, hold on, I gotta put on my devil jeans.
Wow, they really sped up the gameplay in this game.
This is the Turbo Edition.
Which I mean, it's funny because Jin kind of spent the whole Tekken 7 story mode just literally being asleep in the bed, and they showed up multiple times. He just woke up in the end to be like, yeah, I guess I'll fight him in the next game. Sure.
Times that he was actually awake, he was also super mopey.
He was always like Jin's been mopey since Tekken 6 came out. Like that's just the direction they've taken his character since then. So, kind of hoping he'll be less mopey here. Would be nice. But yeah, like he does that, and it looks super cool. And then he like crushes a wing, and this could be just me reading too much into it. It kind of makes me think of his Tekken 4 ending, where the devil gene was like kind of taking over him, and he was about to kill Heihachi, and they were like fighting in the Hanmaru stage, and he looks at the statue, and he essentially like sees the spirit of his mother, Jun Kazuma, and he kind of like snaps out of it, like seemingly like snaps out of the whole devil jin thing. And when he flies away, there's a bunch of dark feathers that falls down, but then there's one single white feather that falls in the middle, and that kind of symbolizes he's still a good boy. And I feel like him crushing that dark feather in his hand kind of re-symbolizes, like, yeah, there's still some good in this man that started a global war and killed 1 billion people in Tekken 6 to draw out one monster to kill it.
What?
Yeah, Tekken 6 took him in a weird direction.
This story is bonkers.
Is
And,
there an indication here, like, of any new gameplay mechanics? I feel like Namco likes to do that when they reveal fighting
They
games.
have some of their new stun animations from some moves that they added in 7's last update. Otherwise, I wouldn't say notice like any new mechanics per se yet.
Do you think this is actual, like, real gameplay, like all the animations we're seeing? Like, do you think we'll see all these animations in like normal gameplay?
Harada says this is from the story mode. That this is real-time gameplay, just from the story mode.
Okay, because like some of the animations are definitely like they look smoother. Like some of the combat animations look smoother than Tekken 7.
And some of the cuts they do here are very similar to like how they do Heihachi and Kazuya's final fight in 7. So
is this
Quickly,
like is this one of animation where Kazuya just look completely warped for like a split second? Is this move?
Yeah,
Kind of blurry here though.
He has his hell sweep.
Is that the hell sweep?
No, that's a different
No.
move.
Okay.
So I guess he has like another one where he kind of does, but
Oh, is
they're
it that
like
the bad one?
that's
Is it
the
that
hell
one?
sweep there, but they kind of fixed it here, and I think it's because of the cutscene transition.
Okay, so would you think like that it's not fixed in normal gameplay? That'd be kind of funny.
I hope not. I don't know. I kind of like the tradition that there's just this move that completely breaks his body.
I wish I had like a comparison because that like it's. I mean, you don't really see it in normal gameplay, but if you like freeze frame during specific animation Tekken 7, like
It's so
Kazuya's
funny.
like model is just completely warped. It's basically like
It's
if I
so funny.
if I can find animation again here.
So I was quickly reading through the interview that Harada gave.
I think it might be here.
And, the thing that Icewave said about like Jin maybe still being a good guy is kind of also something he talks about, like the whole chain logo of the game, like the whole motif, is Jin becoming free of all the influence of the devil gene and the Mishima roots in the bloodline. So,
It only took him like 13 years
yeah, but
to
you're
finally
kind
not
of
be an evil
right
boy.
on it. So
But I'm glad that they might finally take Jin back to good boy territory, because I've missed that side of him.
That's gonna quickly point out, like I think it's like this animation in Tekken 7 where like basically his lower half is facing one direction, the upper half is like facing literally like 180 degrees the opposite direction. It looks very silly.
But it's been that way since Tekken 1. It's been like that since 1994.
Oh god, that is.
He just never tweaked it.
But
It just has a
I
very
guess.
fluid spine.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
But I will say one thing, like, I'm just excited to see Tekken at a high fidelity like this. It makes me hopeful. Like that this, it absolutely has a budget, but like a budget to have a lot of modes and stuff to do, because 7 was really barren on that front.
Does it make you
also we're-
hopeful that we'll like ever see a Soul Calibur 7?
I mean, it sold well, and Bamco were happy with the sales.
Do you think what we're seeing right now is the work of Project Soul? Do you think they got that team to work on this game?
Well, yeah.
Oh!
I mean, Okubo was part of Tekken 7 before he worked on Soul Calibur. And now he left, which is really depressing.
Oh dear.
Also, you know what this trailer needs?
What?
You need to... Is it starting again?
Yes, it is restarting.
Okay. I'm just preparing my voice.
Okay.
They stood in the rain, father
Oh,
and son
no.
looking at each other deep
no,
in the
no,
eye.
no, no, no,
I was terrified, deeply moved. I was so scared I couldn't move a muscle.
Oh no.
We
Kazuya
don't
said
need to
that his
be
words were
reminded of
pathetic.
Tekken 7 story
I
again,
was,
ever.
I was on the edge of my seat,
Let's
and there was no seat to sit down on.
let's move on here. Let's move on. Let's
Suddenly-
these are graphics. These are Tekken 8
Suddenly
graphics
they
taken
were in
from the
color.
trailer. Kind of heavily compressed. I feel like they chose like kind of a bad-ish scene to show off because there is no video compression that works well with like this amount of heavy rain. So it looks kind of blurry. But anyway,
Suddenly they were in
this is
color.
from the Tekken
It
8
was
trailer, and
true
this
marvel.
is a similar scene for Tekken
Oh.
7.
Now that's a bigger jump than I was expecting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel mean saying it, but like 7 never really impressed me, but it makes sense given the budget they had, which was like nothing. Like
And then-
7 barely
then it
got to
made all the
exist because
money.
yeah, 7 barely got to exist because Tag 2 just did not do well, which makes me sad because Tag 2 was a really good game.
When
I mean, that's just
when
because
are
I
we
think
getting
these-
these characters? When are we getting these
Yeah.
characters?
I just took the screenshot because Lily and Asuka needs to be there.
Is that all the Tekken talk? Shall we move on to the next game?
I mean, if you
few
want me to talk
minor-
more about Tekken, I could be here all day. I'm kidding.
A few minor things is that, yeah, I don't think we mentioned it, and I don't think the trailer shows the logo specifically, but it's Unreal
Oh,
5 this
God,
time and
Office.
not Unreal 4.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah.
And the
Yeah.
team, I mean, the team has said that they want to improve on every mode that they've had previously, and they can't comment on game mechanics or netcode at this time.
Oh god,
So-
netcode.
Yeah, they
If
haven't
it's not
confirmed
rollback, the
or
game is
whatever.
dead.
It with almost every fighting game coming out now having rollback, it feels
Yeah.
like a no-brainer. that
There's
it's
no
just
excuse.
rollback.
But Harada also keeps insisting 7 has rollback and even added a rollback frame visual counter now in the last update for a game that doesn't have rollback netcode.
It's a weird thing. I mean, like the netcode does something which is related to like rewinding now and then, but it doesn't feel like normal rollback. Like I don't know
Well-
what they're doing, but it's weird. It doesn't seem to be great.
Well,
It is
not
not
very
Icewave,
delay
netcode.
based.
you were saying earlier about those roundtables where they were saying they look to Street Fighter for inspiration. If Street
Yeah.
Fighter gets rollback, Tekken will get rollback.
Oh, I mean,
surely.
Street Fighter 5 had rollback, just not
Well,
very
boy.
well
Oh,
implemented
okay,
rollback.
good rollback. If Street Fighter gets good
There you go.
rollback,
I think it will. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite had really good rollback. So, I'm
yeah.
hopeful.
I mean, we'll probably know. Well, actually, we'll discuss that when we get to it.
Also, please make sure that these characters have like good hair alphas because their hair alphas in 7 hurt me.
Oh god,
especially
I
Lily's.
didn't even think of that. Is that? Can we look at that in the trailer? Is that really something that's lookable?
I would say like the few close-ups you get, they
I guess
the hair
early
alphas
on, maybe.
look alright.
Unreal 5 does have better alpha masking than Unreal 4 does.
People likes us. Subtitle, please.
Hmm. I don't know. I feel like this is just too blurry to tell.
yeah,
It's
we
too
It
need.
could
red.
also be that
we-
the hair is handled differently, that they've like modeled individual like groups of hair instead
Oh
of
my
like
god, he
using
looks like Kitty
cards
without a
with
beard.
alphas. Oh wait, can you go back to Jin? Can you go back to
Jin?
Jin in the previous shot? Yeah, like here.
Look at my beautiful boy.
It does kind of look like it's hard edge. Like I feel like it's still like I feel like it's still a binary alpha. I feel, but it
Yeah.
also it doesn't look bad.
Now I feel bad that I didn't take like a close-up of her hair alpha in 7.
Of course.
Oh, you should take a
Tekken
screenshot of
8.
Noctis.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Tekken 8 probably won't have the ultimate hair alpha
No.
test. Not
God,
this.
Noctis' hair, you can't make that look good in 7 no matter what you do.
Ugh. Okay, is that
Or
enough?
make it look good by giving him a hat.
Even with a hat, the hair alphas will stick out. They will always be there.
I don't.
Yeah, but
I
you'll
don't.
see them less.
I don't want
I
to
hope
rush us,
Lily gets
but
to keep that
I
outfit.
think we can't have like 23 trailers to go through in this
Yeah,
set,
we
no,
should
so,
move on.
Also,
I think-
Asuka should also be in that outfit. Like, Asuka is a really cool character. Like, she could be vital to the plot because in Tekken 5, in her Tekken 5 ending, she actually heals Jin of the devil Jin.
Oh yeah, maybe maybe
corruption
we
and
should.
that.
No, yeah, let's
And
let's
then
move on.
Jin actually wakes up, and then suddenly he stumbles right in.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
all right, let's go. Yes, right.
Uh-oh.
I think this is a Ryman game.
Oh yes.
Oh, it's also a me game.
Very much so. Shall I set the stage?
Sure. You have the stage, Ryman.
All right. So this is Like a Dragon Ishin. They're calling the Yakuza games Like a Dragon worldwide now. This is a full remake and of. This is a full remake of an early PS3, well, a late PS3, early PS4 game set in the I think that they say the Bakamatsu period, or basically they have a bunch of Yakuza characters playing like these other figures from this era. So, for example, Kiryu in this game is playing the character of Sakamoto Ryoma, and he joins up with the Shinsengumi. I think they're like a police force. And like, yeah, this is like set at like the end of the Age of the Samurai, so there's a lot of guns.
It's a kitty.
Yep, meow meow. And another interesting thing about this is that when I first saw this trailer, which was shown during the Sony State of Play, I thought, oh cool, they're remaking this in the Dragon Engine. No, no, they're not. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't think it mentioned it in the Sony State of Play trailer, but they released a blog post on the PlayStation blog that revealed that this game is actually made in Unreal Engine 4, which was kind of shocking to me because they've never used that before for any for any other.
I want to see this version. I want to see this version. I want to see this version.
I'm a little sad about it because I love the ragdolls in Dragon Engine.
True, but there's a lot more daytime and a lot less neon lights in this game. And personally, I don't know if this might be considered controversial, but I don't think the Dragon Engine looks all that good at daytime in the games I've played. I noticed it most probably in Yakuza 7, actually. You spend a lot of time during the day in Yakuza 7, and I don't think it holds up quite as well. Nighttime, though,
they have been saying in interviews that they feel like the Dragon Engine is like reaching the end of its life cycle, and that they're like, I get with this, they're considering moving to Unreal 4 or 5.
Yeah, they have been talking about evaluating Unreal Engine 5 for future project. But the only one we know for certain that is using Unreal Engine is this, Like a Dragon Ishin, which, by the way, in Japan, it's going to be called Ishin Kiwami.
Which is cute.
So, another thing they're doing is that, so the original PS3 and PS4 version of this game, they had a bunch of like Yakuza 4 and Yakuza 5 characters filling a lot of the character roles. But in this game, as we get a close-up of Kiryu's eye here, they're actually replacing a lot of those Yakuza 4 and Yakuza 5 characters with characters from Yakuza 0 and 7, which is interesting. For example, the 3 Dojima family lieutenants from Yakuza 0, they're going to be in this remake. Zhao from 7 is also going to be in this, as well as Jungi.
Also best character.
And yeah, the release of this is pretty important because the original PS3 and PS4 version of this game was never released outside of Japan. Can you guess why? It's very Japanese.
I guess they thought that it wouldn't do well over here.
Well, actually, as Icewave pointed out to me earlier, they've said in interviews, or at least a interview, that the success of Ghost of Tsushima is one of the reasons why they decided to go ahead with this. So that's very nice to hear. Yeah, coming out February 2023, pretty much every platform that matters.
Looks pretty good.
Including PC, importantly. In fact, to my surprise, the Steam page is already up. You could already pre-order it. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this a lot.
And as we can see in part of this trailer, like this is an action-based Yakuza game. It's not a JRPG in disguise.
Yeah, which makes sense because the original was an action game. It was not an RPG because they weren't doing the RPG stuff back then.
Shall I move on to the next trailer?
The one thing I wanted to say is I wish more IPs would just have fun with their characters like this, like just do a completely off-the-wall spin-off.
Yeah, in fact, there is a scene I have seen in the original version of this that is it's so very silly. I will not spoil it because people need to see that fresh.
Where's my karaoke spin-off?
Oh God!
Ask Sega, I guess. Ask RGG.
Sega.
Okay, I'll just add them on Twitter later.
But yes, I don't really have much else to say other than I'm glad this is finally coming out in the West.
I wonder if this will get an English dub.
Yeah, they haven't shown any. Like they've done English trailers, but they're never dubbed. It's still Japanese with English subtitles. So I have a hunch this maybe won't get dubbed.
That's fair. Would be a shame, but because I do think, at least with 7, like 7 actually has a pretty good dub.
So this guy is actually a Yakuza 5 character, and it looks like he's one of the only Yakuza 5 characters that is not getting replaced. Pretty much every other Yakuza 5 character that was in the original version of the game has been replaced, which is kind of a shame, I guess.
It is a shame.
What a shame.
Yes. We can move along if you wish.
Okay, so that was all of the Yakuza news.
No, it wasn't.
Let's just move on here.
Oh God! Oh
no.
Oh boy! You know, I'm not even sure if I should say anything. I think we should just wait for the big reveal. So this is the teaser trailer for Like a Dragon 8, which is not coming out until 2024.
Another wee bit.
Yeah.
I was not ready for this.
No one was ready for this. Who would be ready for this? This is... I don't know if I'll ever get used to this. Look at Kiryu on the left! What did they do to him? Why does he have grey or white hair?
Well, he looks like a Stardust #1 host.
Yeah, he does. He looks like a host.
Well, I mean, I don't know, that happens to some guys in the 40s. Like, they have people in the 40s with full grey hair. Like, it's possible.
I think Kiryu's supposed to be older than that. I think he's meant
that,
to be.
I mean, I will say, like, his facial features, he just looks like he's 21. He just looks like he's 21.
Yeah, he does. It looks... Look, to me, this looks so weird. I can't.
Ryman cannot.
I think the only thing that makes me a bit sad is I was kind of hoping like Ichiban would get to lead, because I thought 7 did a great job, like setting him up.
That's the other reason this is weird, because Yakuza 7 did a really good job of Kiryu passing the torch to Ichiban.
I can give you a reason why.
Why?
7 didn't sell nearly half as well as 6 did.
Ew.
Really? That's surprising.
It took 7, like, I want to say over 3 weeks, what 6 did in 3 days. In terms of sales numbers, even in like Asian regions. Like, it just sold a lot worse.
And yeah, again, it's despite coming out in 2024, it's still coming out on Xbox One and PS4.
I want to see this in the VCR model of the Xbox One.
Oh god, that's going to be a hell of a Digital Foundry episode.
Did they specify engine for this?
They did not. And what they did touch on was, well, Kiryu's new look. They said there's a reason for it, but they didn't want to explain it yet.
I wonder if it's the same reason as Ichiban.
But yeah, they said...
Unfortunate barber mistake.
They confirmed that this will, again, be a turn-based RPG like 7 was. And that, basically, Kiryu and Ichiban will be leading this game together in some fashion. At the end of the RGG Summit stream where this trailer was shown, there was like a montage, and there were some very brief clips of Yakuza 8 shown during that montage. We saw a couple other returning characters from 7. We saw Saeko, we saw Namba, we saw Adachi, and we saw Ichiban rocking his ponytail instead of his afro.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yep. I will say I'm a little bummed out that they don't like do a dual gameplay style. Like Kiryu would have like the brawler style, traditional brawler, and then Ichiban would have the RPG stuff. I feel like that could be like a cool way. Yeah, it would be a lot of work.
Yeah, and well, if there's one thing we learned during that summit is that RGG are very busy right now.
Well, is that 4 games currently or something?
A billion games.
Well, we
is
have.
that it? Is that it? Shall I just move on like that?
Well-
That's all Yakuza news, right? That's it, right?
Well, this is all for 8 because well, it's not coming out for over a year, and this trailer is all they showed. So we could.
Okay,
move
so
on.
let's just talk about something entirely different then.
Yeah. Okay. So this
Tech
is
just
like a
really
Dragon
needs to work
Gaiden.
on some time work on
Oh my
things.
god!
Yeah, like I said, they're busy.
Oh
So, yeah.
Jesus Christ!
So yeah, this is like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. This is a side story focused entirely on Kiryu.
That's not
That-
Kiryu, it's Juryu.
I mean, sorry, Joryu. Where it's going to explain what he did between 6 and 7, and it will lead into 8 in some fashion.
Bonk.
And they said it's going to be like a shorter game. They
Ew.
described the length as being like a bit longer than the Kaito Files DLC that was released for Lost Judgment, but I've not played that, so I don't know how long that is.
KO. 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 KO.
Hitting the poor man.
Do you hate
the-
Kiryu that much, Sectus?
I just wanted to add some action to this. It's very slow scene.
It's very appropriate because they have said this will be, a brawler like the older Yakuza games, which
Okay.
makes sense because it's focused entirely on Kiryu. And it's hard to go into details of this because it would probably spoil a lot of like 6 and 7.
Yeah, I'm still playing through 7.
Do they explain why he looks so young?
No.
He just never ages.
Well, like you have the devil gene in Tekken. Maybe this is just the dragon gene. After all, he is like a dragon.
All the karaoke keeps him young.
That's a good question. Will there be karaoke in this game?
There better be.
And I assume this is like coming for every platform under the sun.
I think
Not
it
the
is.
Switch.
Well, they actually released a statement about the Switch, actually. Apparently in Japan, the Switch is a very family-friendly image, and they don't think the Like a Dragon series would be a good fit for the Switch. for
Didn't
that
stop them
reason.
from releasing 1 and 2 on the Wii U.
Well, that was a very long time ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the Like a Dragon characters are in Project Cross-Zone on the 3DS, I guess.
This is true. And yeah, so this is coming out for pretty much all the same platforms as all the other games we've shown so far. And this is coming out at some point in 2023. They did not announce a specific date, but they showed like a timeline. So this is coming out after Ishin at least. So it'll be after February.
So they're gonna have 2 games releasing next year.
Yep.
That's a wee bit. What? Hmm?
That RGG studio, man, they just... I don't know
And,
how
like,
they do it.
It's on top of like having remade Virtua Fighter
is broken.
5 in like the Dragon Engine for the Ultimate Showdown re-release,
Hmm.
and they also they did the remake of Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz or something.
Oh, that was them. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was them. Like, and that's just turning out these Yakuza games. I mean, sorry, Like a Dragon.
Like a
Gotta use
Yakuza.
that.
Yes, in this game, since I wonder if it will we'll see some events from 7 from Kiryu's perspective. Because if we do, I have to be very curious about a certain fight. Icewave might know what I'm talking about. But I can't
like
really
we're
say
gonna
any more. So I
yeah,
can't
we
really
should
say any more for
know.
fear of spoilers. But yes, again, just like Ishin, very much looking forward to this.
So this was a very
Game is
bright
trademarked.
scene. Does this mean it's not Dragon Engine?
I don't know. There's something
It looks very Dragon Engine.
Yeah, there's something about the way this looks that makes you think it is Dragon Engine. Because
Hmm.
yeah, it's hard to say.
Right down to the font.
I don't see dragons.
What are you talking about? There's one meditating right here.
The
There's
dragon
so few
Dogma.
dragons, Jtegh fell asleep.
Oh no.
So, Jtegh, you said you're playing through 7 right now.
Yep.
Where are you at?
I got dumped in the trash
Oh,
as Ichiban. I'm pretty early on in the game.
yeah,
so-
that's right at the start.
That sounds very rude.
Yeah, it is. Poor Ichiban. He's a good boy.
He's gonna level up, be the best that he can be.
Was that
Yeah,
it for the Yakuza segment?
Pretty much. It was certainly interesting just seeing this slow-paced, casual conversation as the trailer for this game. It was interesting to see. Very different take. But yes, that's it.
Okay, well, I can't remember what order I put stuff in, so I guess we'll just see whatever is next here.
We know it's not an RGG game. Oh,
Oh, Fire Emblem.
Oh.
I'm excited for this. This moral is really cool. Like, has all like a bunch of iconic characters from across the series.
I
How do you
haven't
feel
played
about them
any.
adding? How do you feel about them adding Jean-Luc Picard to this game?
What?
You know, because it's called Engage.
Lynn,
No.
there's Marflosina and Ike and Micaiah.
And
Sigurd.
Corin, Milo.
But yeah, I kind of haven't played any Fire Emblem game ever, so I kind of feel like
Same.
someone else.
You should
will
try
need
them.
to
They're good.
Lead the conversation here because I don't know. I only see anime. That's all I see. I just see anime. That's all I can see here.
Well, you wouldn't be wrong. Like, from how this entry looks, it's very anime, like even more than the previous one.
I mean, hasn't the series basically been anime since Awakening on the 3DS?
Yes.
say Three Houses was a little less anime, maybe?
I feel like Fates was the most animated series was up to
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah. I mean, this in style as well, like, is a lot more back towards the anime style.
I will say though, it's interesting to see them like do this whole like summon characters from across the series because it's very Fire Emblem Heroes, which is the mobile
Engage.
game.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a
I've
gacha
had
game.
people like say that it
Yeah.
was like basically like a sequel to that, which I don't think it's supposed to be.
It's probably just taking inspiration from it, which is I think it's cool. I think it's cool to be able to like get characters from like past games that you like, but I do hope it doesn't come at the expense of a new cast, like that it listens like them, because they usually do new casts pretty well.
I feel like based on the number of like returning characters on the mural, that is basically the number of characters it's going to be. That there's going to be one new character paired with like a classic character, like for
Mural on
the
fall?
mechanic that you see here. So that if that's the case, that wouldn't be a very big cast of characters.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I think it was like 8 or 10 or something on the mural. Thumbnail map.
Dash. Cycle map.
Talk to the pigeon.
Wait, Hudson did Pigeon from Sonic 06?
It's a cat.
Meow. Meow.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
the cat
probable
from
that this
Sonic 06.
game this game brings back the petting or feeding animals mechanic from Three Houses.
I will give that cat a baguette.
Does also look like with that menu we saw just now that they expanded like character customization a little bit more than just picking some outfits. But yeah, that also makes me think like the cast of characters will be smaller because they're giving characters more costumes.
Please grant me your strength.
I'm just happy Lucina's here.
So I keep seeing like 2 character names as one. Like, is it kind of like group up units?
Yeah, you can do you can like pair them up and they can do like duo attacks or just boost each other's stats up for an attack. It was absurdly broken in Awakening.
It feels like like from what we see in this game, like I said, it's pairing like a classic character with a new character. So the two names, like it also seemed like you could sort of like fuse them together.
Fusion?
Fusion, huh?
Is there something you want to
Yeah.
say, Sectors?
They used to make Advance Wars games.
Yeah, that's still delayed indefinitely.
Yeah.
Nintendo still doesn't know what to do with Advance Wars. They commented on it, like overall they just said we'll give you an update when we'll give you an update, basically, is what they said. But they're like, yeah, it still exists.
We live
Yep.
on the continent.
So yeah,
of
I
these
do-
characters on this
oh.
mural are like
4
all of the
realms.
classic characters that will likely appear in the game.
Byleth, Lyn, Marth, Sigurd.
I think
Ike.
Lynn's at the bottom. Yeah, this is Lynn.
Oh, but she was also there at the top. Okay, so if you go down a bit again, it's like this. So I just gotta find my cursor. So this is Ike. Usually he has a sword, but here he has an axe, which is similar to his brave unit version that you
I
can
mean,
summon
Lucina
in.
has a bow, so
Yes, and that was another thing I was going to touch on, which is similar to her legendary unit in Fire Emblem Heroes. So it's kind of interesting that they're doing that because canonically, those two characters use swords. But here they're taking inspiration from a version they made of them in Heroes.
So you're saying that in order to get these characters, you'll need to do gacha?
I
I
hope
mean, in that
not.
case, I'm covered.
I
Oh,
hope
I got
not.
Four
both.
realms surrounding a holy land at its center.
But
Yeah,
nah,
the
it's just-
gacha made
but
me
I-
stop
1,000
playing
years ago,
Heroes.
Our lands endured a vicious war.
But I think
with
it's cool that they do that. I think it's good to like kind of make the units more unique. Otherwise, boy, would you end up with a lot of sword users.
As emblems.
Oh,
With them, the warriors
Yeah, I
of
feel
our
like this
nation
is kind of
fought
in
as
response
one.
to
In
fans
the end,
complaining.
we
Like, I feel
were
like this is probably gonna
victorious in
ground the
defeating
story more in like
and
one
imprisoning
storyline
the
and
fell
and
dragon.
make it more of a classic game, because
the
people
years
complained a lot
since,
about
our world
Fates
has
and
been
Three
saved.
Houses.
I do prefer that because 3 houses is just a little too big for me. Like, one rat's good, but then you know there's like 2 other rats, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, Three Houses technically having 5 storylines is kind of insane.
wait, what?
That's a little too much for me.
Yeah, there's one story path that has 2 possible options, and then there's a DLC story, so 5 storylines.
Jesus Christ.
That game is
Yikes.
big. It's good, but it's big.
Very good.
And I'm still not sure how I feel about like the red blue hair protagonist.
I like the Sonic and Knuckles style they got going on.
Probably the most anime thing in this trailer.
There's a lot of anime here. Looks like
Yeah,
a
I mean,
Demon
I'm
Souls
interested.
character with that glow.
I mean, this game does take place like I think like 1,000 years after his time, so he is technically dead. So he
Oh
is a
God.
ghost.
He's being summoned for co-op.
They're just milking his corpse.
Again.
no.
Years. That's how long I've been asleep.
And poor Ike
yeah.
over here,
You can,
he's
you can
like,
definitely see this anime.
Long
Only anime does this. That's very anime.
It is.
and
very
poor Ike
anime.
just wants to rest, but he keeps being called back. He doesn't want the war anymore, and he's getting dragged into another one against his will.
If I may.
He just wants to fight for his
I'm
friends.
a divine dragon. A member of a royal family of dragons.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep an eye on this game. Like, I wasn't sure about Three Houses when that came out, and I've
Fell dragon.
put over 150 hours into it probably at this point. So
Mercedes showed up.
yeah. I'm very waifu.
I'm curious if you did anything else from the Nintendo Direct in here, because the Nintendo Direct was it was very dominated by like a couple of things. Those are numbers, yes, stats.
And Sectus is now going to play Fire Emblem for the first time.
There is rapiers in a lot of Fire Emblem games.
You can get 3 houses to get a rapier.
Yeah.
Oh lordy.
Leave it to me.
But yeah, like I think Ryan was alluding that the Nintendo Direct was just JRPG / life simulation games.
Warming.
It was kind of overwhelming. I think I preferred watching the Sony State of Play over Nintendo Direct personally.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to the next game?
Yes, I think we will, right, guys?
Oh, more Nintendo. Oh yeah, this thing. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Why did you put this in?
Because I mentioned
This is just funny.
So, the night before the Nintendo Direct, I posted my predictions, and I said something about, like, I don't know, something RE on Switch. And in response to someone else, I was like, if they do more RE on Switch, I just hope it's not cloud-based. And lo and behold, there is 4 cloud games coming to Switch.
So funny.
Demo available now. You could test it.
I have, and oh boy, is it bad.
Oh.
So a few years ago, they put RE7 on the Japanese eShop as a cloud game already. And when I tried that, it was a 144p pixely mess of garbage. This seemed like I was watching like a 720p Twitch stream, so the visual quality wasn't terrible, but the input lag was completely unplayable.
Oh dear.
The game said that I had 3 out of 4 bars of connection, which you would expect to be not too terrible. But the game was completely unplayable. I felt like I had like a second of input delay.
Oof, yeah, that
is-
would be playable.
This is why those bars are useless and we need ping numbers.
Yeah,
numbers
would be nice.
Numbers, Mason.
But
What
yeah,
would it
like
be?
the visual quality of the video feed that was getting looked fine, like it looked acceptable. But yeah, the input delay just made it unplayable. The funny thing about RE8 on Switch is you have to play the demo to be able to buy the game.
Oh,
Because they make you test the product to see if
yeah.
you can play it.
guess that makes sense.
The demo was also only like 7 minutes. It was absurdly short. And not that I like reached the end, but it just cut me off.
Oh.
And it was very similar to like the castle demo we had on other platforms before the release of Village. But yeah, it just put you a little bit further on in that original demo. I got to shoot or try to shoot a few enemies, and I just couldn't hit anything. It did have gyro aiming,
Well, that's nifty.
but you know, if you can't aim because of the absurd input delay, then it's still pointless.
Yeah, like gyro needs low input lag still.
So, again, like as I said, visually it looked good. Like they put some pretty beefy specs on whatever the server is running this on. It's just that input-wise, it's unplayable, or at least for me it was. And I heard other people say similar things. So, if you're interested in this, you should probably get a different platform to play it on. But yeah, like try the demo and see if it works for you. But I wouldn't recommend it personally, and I don't think the others are going to be any better.
Yeah, I've tried some cloud services and like I feel like none of them feel great. Like even a small amount of input, like it just I don't know, it just doesn't feel good to me.
Occurred to me,
I
haven't actually-
most of RE4 on PS4 with the what is it, PlayStation Now?
It used to
Oh,
be
God.
PlayStation now. Now it's just PlayStation Plus Plus.
Yeah, like back then I played most of RE4 through that, and that was okay-ish, but it kept like disconnecting me because of the bad ping.
Oof.
It's occurred to me, I never looked into how well these games run on the Steam Deck.
I think
it works
all
for
of them
people.
work pretty well, right?
I
It
know
surprised me.
I know that people in the modding community have been playing RE2 and 3 on a Steam Deck and like trying to mod it.
Yeah.
Uh,
And Capcom is showcasing, like, on the TGS show floor, you can you can play DMC5 on a Steam Deck.
Oh yeah. For some reason, the Steam Deck has a massive presence at TGS, so I wasn't expecting that.
Since we're looking at Resident Evil stuff, I guess I can quickly mention they announced earlier today that RE4 Remake will be coming to PS4 as well. So it is cross-gen.
Cross-gen will never die.
and
I do
they
kinda-
announced and they announced a Resident Evil showcase coming next month where they'll
Yeah.
show more of RE4
yeah.
Remake.
Yeah. I do kind of find it funny that Capcom keeps doing it, where they announce, "Oh yeah, this game is next gen," and then like a few months later, "No, actually, it's PS4 as well." Like I don't understand why they staggered it. Why not just announce everything at the
The
same time? I
install
don't know.
base isn't big enough on the next consoles yet.
Marketing is weird.
We will never
I wonder
escape
if
the
it's
PS4.
just like with RE8 that they're like seeing if it's possible for them to like optimize it well enough, like how far they're gonna push like graphics and stuff to see like if frame rate wise the game is able to handle it at the fidelity they're trying to make it run at.
You don't think
Or-
like this is decided like extremely early on in development, like what platforms are targeting? I don't know.
Usually it is, yeah.
Yeah, you'd think so.
But yeah, like the Resident Evil showcase, it'll be interesting to finally see some gameplay of RE4 Remake. I'm really curious how they're handling combat in that game.
Yeah.
I
It is a
think
big
we
mystery
can.
still.
I think we can probably move on to
Yes.
other stuffs. Oh yeah, they speaking of Capcom, I don't think we haven't had a podcast where we talked about the fact that they did announce Dogma 2 with a T-shirt. That's
They redo it.
Read
they did
t-shirts
it
no
again.
less.
Really? We didn't talk about this in the podcast?
No, I think
Feels
we had a
like we did.
podcast where we talked about the Capcom stream where they
Oh.
talked about Dragon's Dogma, and they like announced like we're gonna have a Dragon's Dogma like stream where we talk about the past. I don't think we talked about this. Like I don't know, like it's just a T-shirt. I mean, it's cool to have it announced. Yeah, it's cool. It's neat that they announce the game like that. That is exciting. It's just hard to talk about, but it's just a T-shirt. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually we have the logo as well. Very very nice logo.
I mean, Capcom announced Dragon's Dogma 2
Ready
the
to be part of it.
basically the same way Nintendo announced Metroid Prime 4. And Metroid
I like
Prime
I like this part. Rating pending, likely mature 17 plus.
Well,
Probably, I don't know.
Likely.
I mean, if you play the last game, yeah, that makes sense.
mean, yeah.
And
I'm glad that you got a guest spot in the game sect. It's pretty.
oh yeah, I'm very happy about this. I'm actually the reason in this game. I'm the main character.
Say
So your
what?
heart gets stolen.
Yeah, it's very dramatic, but it's fine. I get it back in the final scene.
I hope you sell
Silver
scenes
Spoiler.
really well.
Spoilers?
Sorry about that. Oh well, maybe they'll cancel the game now.
No, I waited so
But
long.
they
for
mean
this.
they like this was announced back when was it June? Like late June they announced this.
I think that's when all the E3, well, not E3 stuff was happening.
Why is there nothing? Why? Like this game has most likely been in development since around like April 2019. They must have stuff to show. I just don't understand. Like, why just why not more? I don't know. I want to see the game. I
Maybe
wanna see
they
the game.
want to make sure, when they show it off, that they have a lot to show.
Or
like a very big thing.
or it actually has not been in development since 2019 and only started more recently.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, hasn't it's not like teased now and then on Twitter that I am working on the next game. It'll be cool to announce it. Blah 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 blah. And it's been done that for like a few years now. Either way, like I think it's a marketing thing. I think Capcom wants to focus on certain games. I mean, they have a lot of stuff. They have Extra Primal, they have
This is
RE4
true.
Remake, they have Street Fighter 6, they have RE8 Gold Edition. Like they have a lot of stuff in the pipeline. I kind of feel like they want to
Armada,
wait
whatever
for one
that
to be released before they like showcase this.
Yeah, that does actually make.
I just still think this is a kind of a weird, not too exciting way to announce a game, especially since they did like the
Yep.
announcement of an announcement, and the real announcement was a T-shirt. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's super exciting to see the game
I want
get
that
announced.
t-shirt.
It's just that I don't know. I really want more than a logo.
Yes, I very much want a lot more than just a logo.
Just want to hear Simmons.
I waited so long for this fucking game. Ah,
Yeah. More
Language.
stuff. More stuff.
oh,
Okay,
I'm-
I'm,
I'm
just
out,
gonna leave
bye.
for a bit.
Okay, so earlier we talked about what was like 3 Yakuza games being announced. Guess how many Assassin's Creed games they announced just some days ago?
Is it-
Infinite.
Isn't
They
it
announced
also
Infinite
3?
games.
So they made this. So they announced Mirage, which is a game they're releasing early next year, which I think was originally supposed to be. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it was a rumor, or maybe it wasn't officially announced. But I heard somewhere anyway that this was supposed to be DLC for Valhalla, but they kind of split it off into its own game, and it
Mirage
sounds
is
like
a pretty fun legend in Apex to use.
no. This guy name is. I forget his name, but he's actually a character in
Basim.
Valhalla. Yeah. Basim, but he's a character in Valhalla, and now you play as him in Mirage, and they've kind of talked about this being kind of a more of a old school style Assassin's Creed. Like it's just one big city, I think, or maybe several cities. I guess we'll see. But it sounds like they're trying to make it a little bit more old school. And then we have Valhalla stuff getting even more DLC. And then hold on, oh god, I'm clicking buttons. Then they announced Assassin's Creed codename Jade, which is a smartphone Assassin's Creed title.
See this right. I hate this. I hate all of this. This entire these 3 words here.
I don't trust Ubisoft with a mobile game at all.
You can really just end it at I don't trust Ubisoft.
At all.
So the stuff they showed of
Yeah.
Mirage earlier in this video was just CG trailer stuff, but this is in game. So I mean, it looks fancy for a smartphone, but is this something people want, like a proper Assassin's Creed game
I
on
mean-
smartphone?
All this proves is that my phone will not run this. No chance.
And we can almost kind of see at the text here that you can create your own character in this game. You can just like it's even more of an RPG this time. Yeah, and it's set in ancient China, so it's kind of neat that they finally go
Coming
for
in
like
for a hug.
ancient settings now. And another one, they announced Assassin's Creed Codename Red, which is gonna take place in Japan.
Ghost of Tsushima already exists. You're late to the party, Ubisoft.
Yeah. they
So this is
fulfilled
going
the
to be a
request too
console
late.
one, console and PC, and I think they announced rough years for all of this, but most of this is like very far off. Like I think
Yeah.
Jade and Red are both like 20, like I think they're after 23. They might be like 24, maybe in 25. I'm not sure. Like they're like years from now.
That's very far off still.
I'm gonna be the party pooper. Like I'm just Assassin's Creeded
There's
out.
more. There's more. There's also Assassin's Creed Codename Hex. Actually, I think this might be the one that's like the furthest, like the furthest away. I think maybe Jade and Red might be like 24. And I think this is 25 one. I think.
I'm just
insane.
I just got burned out by the series when I played 3, and it kind of just completely invalidated everything you had done in the modern world. I was
Oh,
like,
it actually
here's
showed the
the
years here.
timeline.
Okay. Well,
It's
kind
just
of.
I was like,
on
oh.
the horizon. This is kind of insane.
See,
Oh, and don't forget the new
Infinite
launcher,
Assassin's
Infinity,
Creed. It's
Okay.
they'll
Okay.
never
So.
stop.
and the Netflix
Infinity-
announcement.
Oh yeah, they've a TV show of Netflix, Assassin's Creed. But yeah, I just want to quickly mention Assassin's Creed Infinity is, I think it's supposed to be a game. They were very vague about what Infinity is, but they did say they're planning
It's gonna be a
some kind of
metaverse.
multiplayer component to Infinity, and they kind of say that Red and Hex is like, and also, well, I thought they said Jade, but I guess it's only Red and Hex. Like it's kind of like under the same umbrella. I feel like maybe the like Infinity is kind of launcher, and you launch this game via it, but it also has its own multiplayer mode. Like I don't know, they did a really bad job explaining what the hell Infinity is.
That sounds like Ubisoft, alright.
Honestly, I'm just baffled that Assassin's Creed is like as big as it is.
I just think they need to slow down because it's funny to think about. Like, what was it like? Just a few years ago, they were like, yeah, we're just going to slow down the releases, not to risk fatigue, and now that
Well,
lasted
they are
like
slowing.
1 year.
They are kind of slowing down the releases. I mean, for instance, there is no AC game this year. Like, I mean, this used to be a series where they release one game every single year, and they've kind of stopped doing that now.
Doesn't feel like it.
I mean, you should remember, like, there's a lot of games, but most of these are years off. I mean, like, they're definitely going crazy though.
It's a little intense,
Uh,
especially because. But maybe I just made it feel away because I did fall off after 3.
I
So
mean,
I'm
I
like,
could
way behind.
I could play devil's advocate here. I mean, we talked about Yakuza earlier. That has like 3 new
Yeah.
game announcements, and 2 of them are being released the same year. That's, you could
Very
argue that's
fair.
also being like overloaded. And those aren't.
Very
I mean,
fair,
those
but
aren't
I
short
can
games
do-
either, right?
I can do karaoke in that. I cannot do karaoke in the Assassin's Creed. Therefore, your point isn't valid, good sir.
I want to say they implied that basically all of these are in the like the RPG style of like Valhalla, Odyssey, and Origins.
They definitely said that about Codename Red. They said it was an RPG.
I want to say they also mentioned that like they're okay with releasing them slower because they're able to have so much post-launch DLC for each game. Like, people are buying that DLC, so then they're okay with like just releasing them slower, but having just a shit ton of post-launch DLC. So it sounds like they might
They're
just
gonna
plan
release
that for all
your
of these
vest
games.
from the CEO position.
But yeah, it's a lot of Assassin's Creed. I think some of the settings are cool. I feel like it's nice to them actually go with settings that aren't Europe. I feel like that's kind of nice. I mean, I guess it did kind of do like Assassin's Creed 3, 4, and Rogue weren't Europe, but still, it's nice to see more more different settings. Weird about, I don't know, it's so weird having one made fully for smartphones. Like, I just don't see it being a good fit for the platform. But I don't know. I'm not much of a smartphone.
They'll
I
port it
don't
to
know.
other platforms later.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah, they just
Wasn't it
don't, they
like
want that.
Liberation or whatever that eventually like got like a console port after?
Oh
That
yeah,
was a
yeah.
Vita
That
game.
was like
PSP
Vita,
game or
yeah.
something?
Vita.
originally.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they were quick to remastering that.
Yeah. I mean, if the game does well enough or if there's enough demand, I wouldn't be surprised if like a year later or a few years later they're like, oh, it's coming to consoles and PC. Huh.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, the mobile game is set in China. I think that's very telling.
It could be that it's aiming like for a China market as well. Yeah.
Like all these mega publishers, they want that China money. They
I
want
feel
it
like
badly.
the only thing is that graphically it looks very weak compared to stuff like Valhalla. So I feel like, would they be okay with porting it as this, or would they like do like a visual overhaul if they're gonna do a console port?
I mean, if you look at this image already, like how like empty it is in terms of like tree placements, I would
Oh, well.
assume they would overhaul it. To,
Then
like,
that
So,
leaves only one viable target platform: the Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, that's a platform.
Man, they could do it. They ported old Assassin's Creed games to the Switch.
Didn't those run kind of badly as well?
They still did it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Didn't
I
stop
mean, they'll still take the money.
Exactly. That's Ubisoft. They love money.
I want to say the Hexa one is directed by, what's his name, Clint
Yeah.
something.
Clint Hawking. Clint
He
Hawking.
directed Far Cry 2. I just want to add that. I just want to say that. I think he also directed one of the Assassin's Creed games, but I forget which ones. It's hard to keep track. There's so many
There's
games.
a lot.
That's too
Actually,
many.
no, yeah, I think it was 3. I think he actually directed Assassin's Creed 3, if I recall.
Oh god.
Oh.
But since it's like semi-relevant, I'll just mention that there was absolutely zero news of Prince of Persia: Sands of Time
Prince of
remake.
Pi, I love that
Yeah.
IP.
Prince of Pi, I love it. Yeah, that was good. But yeah,
Love it.
there's no signs of it. It's just being delayed forever, I guess.
Yeah.
And they still have Yves being the CEO.
Yeah, they didn't throw Eves in jail for some reason.
Didn't
That
fire
was-
him out of a cannon yet when they really should.
You remember this castle, Ryman? You remember this castle?
Oh, wait, is that the one from Assassin's Creed 1?
Yes, you visit like the castle from Assassin's Creed 1, like the assassin
Oh,
castle in the Mirage game.
It's a neat call.
It looks pretty. The game looks pretty. The
I mean,
graphics.
they
I
always
was
look
about to
pretty.
say,
Won't deny that.
yeah.
You can use red smoke stuff. That's pretty nifty. Wow,
That
wow,
didn't
wow.
work on that one guy. He's still pointing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, oh god, oh
Ah.
god, oh god, Kelly.
Ah,
But yeah, I
Hey,
feel like you
Ishin.
can definitely see that going from like classic AC vibes with this, like it being a huge city and like similar setting as AC1.
yeah, I mean, people have been complaining about the RP stuff and wanted more classic. I feel
Yeah.
like they're trying to go for a bit of a middle ground with this, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's still based on the Valhalla engine, so when it comes to like moment-to-moment gameplay, I would assume that's going to be very similar to Valhalla. Oh yeah,
Oh.
I just added this for the heck of it. Like this is a screenshot from Assassin's Creed Unity. I just want this. Like this is still my ideal AC game. Wait, is this what they're trying to make with Assassin's Creed Infinity? Is this Assassin's Creed
Probably.
Infinity?
it could very well be.
They should they need to bring him back. They need
You should go down. You should go
to.
down.
Well,
Ezio, I like Ezio. I miss Ezio.
but hate them.
Ezio.
Hate them.
Ezio.
He was
Not
gonna fall.
Edward.
Who's that guy? Who's that guy? Oh, she's the liberation person.
Yeah, I
Yep.
forgot her name.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
she's
a
the other
Chronicles character.
Chinese game, which was like a spin-off.
It was
I forgot about that.
Chronicles something.
Yeah. Well, that's probably enough Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
That was too much
Oh.
for my brain.
Wait, this wasn't a TGS thing.
No,
This is,
it wasn't.
Garou. This is from Evo.
Yeah. This they
yeah.
announced this at.
This year's Evo was fucking crazy off the hook. Jeez. Words. I
You
can't.
can
speak
say that again.
Garou.
But yeah, they
Market Wolves
announced
2.
Garou Market Wolves 2.
God, I can still hear Maximilian's screams in my head just with this music.
Just a
Man, it's
way
really
higher
impressive
pitch
screams,
that I
okay?
can't copy.
I cannot. That scream is impossible to
No.
replicate.
They did reveal a little more details about this more recently, didn't they, Sectus?
Yeah, I was trying to. I had it open in a tab. I just found like so. Yeah, like it won't actually be called Garou 2, even though it's a sequel to the game, and it'll be 3D. 10+ original developers are returning for the game. That's kind of impressive. It's like if it's original from the original Garou.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, I
Garou will
mean
be
the
the main
game is like
character?
23 years old now. What is it?
Terror will be the main character.
Did you say Rock will be the main character? He's probably the main character.
Terry.
Terry?
I think Terry was. Yeah, I think they actually said like Terry will be like the main.
Oh. I feel like it's weird they
You
use like.
sure, I
Rock
heard
here,
Rock as well for main character. I mean, he's front and center in this picture here.
Yeah, but I think they said in an interview somewhere that like Terry would.
I think they said Terry would be in it. I don't think they said he was going to be the main character.
Well, yeah, he's gonna be in it like he was in the first game. And someone needs to be like asking people if they're okay before he just viciously punches them.
What's the wolf?
And
Yahoo.
it's also mentioned here that the director says that he's cool with guest fighters. I guess maybe that's a hint of guest characters being in this.
Hermit confirmed.
We're cooking.
Moving on.
Oh, back to Sony.
Sony.
Okay.
8%. Oh, hello, I'm Jerome. I'm here to present
Oh,
the
this
trailer.
game. Yeah, this game looks very interesting.
Yeah.
So this is made by Team Ninja, right?
Yeah, who also appear to be very busy at the moment, because this isn't all they're making right now.
Yeah, they're also making games set in China, right?
Yeah, that seems to be like an Xbox deal. It's called Wolong Fallen Dynasty. This game.
And they're making a game with EA.
Oh, I didn't know about that. And this game is called Rise of the Ronin. Seems a bit more grounded. I don't see any demons like there is in the Neo games.
But I mean, I know basically nothing of this game, but it looks neat. It looks neat.
I guess Ghost of Tsushima just started this like samurai ninja renaissance.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I mean, the game looks really good.
it does.
Well, that was sick.
Those musket moves reminds me so much of Assassin's Creed 3.
It's crazy to think that Team Ninja at one point was known basically just for Ninja Gaiden Dead or Alive, but now they're doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
They're doing so many things these days. It's
But
Rise
Kind
of
of
the
impressive.
Ronin.
yeah, this game's another one that's really far off. I think they said 2024 for
Oh
this
god.
Oh Jesus!
yeah,
Oh yeah,
there
it
it
says
is.
right there. Console exclusive, so it's coming to PC as well.
Very
finally.
likely.
I should hope so. Because yeah, I don't think the Neo games, I don't think they got ported to Xbox, just PC. Whereas the only Xbox game right now is the China one.
Yeah, it looks potentially fancy. Looks like it's open world, very action based. I don't know if it's supposed to have kind of RPG. Probably, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. We'll be curious to know more in like, probably half a year.
Was Neo open world?
No, it was more mission based.
Okay. So I assume this game won't be in that style. Maybe, I don't know.
Probably not. But like we said, it looks really interesting and good and nice
Yeah.
and pretty.
I mean, like this. I mean, this looks very fancy. This just makes me think of Assassin's Creed right now. Everything
It's
is
strange.
Assassin's Creed. I don't know.
Yeah, that specific shot with the glider, it makes me think of Assassin's Creed 3, which, but it looks really good.
Doesn't look like it's using ray tracing though.
Maybe not.
I mean, you could very clearly see like artifacts that it was just using screen space reflections in
Oh,
the
right.
water.
Well, you know, a lot of console games, these games are offering multiple graphics modes.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not using ray tracing, it means it has a chance of running at a good frame rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually a good thing.
And oh, in fact, there is a precedent for that. Like the Neo games, they've always offered many different graphics options on console. So yeah, there is precedent. But yeah, this looks good. Not much else to say, really.
Did I
This
start a new
looks really
trailer?
good.
Okay, no, okay. Let's see. This is a new trailer. What is this? I forget what I've added here. I forget what the order is. I don't know what this is. Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Oh, this.
Oh yeah!
Oh,
Wow, we're
Lord.
going back a bit now.
Yeah. This was announced at Gamescom, right?
Yeah.
This is terrifying.
This is a new
Its
Alone in the Dark,
opening
which
is
is
not very.
this is Grace from Alone in the Dark 2. This character. So this is basically like a reboot of the series, like, well, yet another reboot.
Don't let them get inside, combat. They're not the good kind.
And
I don't
it-
have your stone, and fuck you anyway.
oh my god, language!
I still can't believe that Carnby was voiced by Max Payne.
He needed the money.
Oh, this is
Have you ever talked to a
spooky
doctor
loud.
about your condition?
I think that's Edward Conway, maybe. Yeah.
Man, it's the mustache.
And that's Emily Hartwood we saw briefly. They're both playable characters returning from Alone in the Dark 1. So you can see also briefly, it's gonna have like there we go, like full screen puzzles. These don't look like very difficult puzzles potentially. I don't know. But I mean, the style they're going for, I feel like they're heavily inspired by like RE2 remake
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So
Well, at least it looks a lot better than prior recent
Yeah, I mean,
Alone in the
yeah,
Dark games.
the 2008 reboot was horrible. They had a really weird multiplayer reboot some years ago that also looked super horrible.
I saw some footage of that. It looked fucking awful.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like that multiplayer thing. It looked like an asset flip game. It looked that bad.
Yeah, it's the IP hasn't been treated the best. Like personally, I feel like Alone in the Dark 1 is the one in the series that's like really, really fun, and the rest is kind of flawed. I never played much of like a new Nightmare though. Maybe I should actually like do a full playthrough of that one at one point.
I have to rename that game to an old Nightmare now. It's very old.
But I mean, like maybe this will become good. It doesn't really feel like Alone in the Dark, with the exception that it's set in a similar time period and you have some returning characters that they look kind of different for the most part. But I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
It looks like a modern horror game.
Yeah, it looks like a modern Resident Evil with a lower budget, but with using the Alone in the Dark IP. The developer, we saw the name briefly early on. I think they're called Pieces.
Pieces Interactive. I've never heard of them.
Let's see what they've made.
I saw a list of the game titles at one point. I think it was like mostly unknown smartphone titles. I'm not sure. Wait, I think they also. God, what's the name of that?
No. There's a game you know.
Yeah.
Magica 2.
Yeah. That's the one. I was starting to remember the name. Yeah, they made Magica 2. They also made DLC for Titan Quest, I think, like recently, I think.
Titan Quest Ragnarok and Titan Quest Atlantis is something they worked on.
Yeah, that was DLC for like Titan Quest, which is a pretty old Diablo clone.
And then if you go to their archives of stuff they've worked on other Magica games as well.
Maybe ports?
Magica Dungeons and Gargoyles and Magica Other Side of the Coin. And Magica Dungeons and Demons.
But yes.
I guess Magica spin-offs.
Oh, I can also mention that they have like a small playable teaser they had playable at Gamescom called Grace in the Dark, I think, which is kind of like I feel like they might have been inspired by Jack in the Dark, which is like a free demo they released for Alone in the Dark 2, where you played as Grace, and it was just completely different than the main.
Wait, you streamed that, didn't you?
Jack in the Dark.
Yeah, like that was the thing at like the children's toy shop, right?
Yeah. And
I remember that.
They implied that that is something they'll probably release eventually online for free, like the Grace in Dark.
Oh, that's cool.
For this game. But yeah, we can move on, I feel. The other games, the more games.
What's next?
It meant my father's mention. But now
this is another trailer for Jagged Alliance 3. I think I must have talked about this briefly last year when it was announced in a podcast, I'm pretty sure. But here's another trailer, and they also had like a huge presentation about it at Gamescom where they talked a lot about the game and its gameplay.
This is not
some silly stuff in this trailer, like it is set in the late 90s, like the original Jagged Alliance 2, so like they try to go for like very nostalgic web experience.
I cannot take that text-to-speech voice seriously.
I want my father back.
Understandable, Miss LaFont.
But yeah, I'll just focus on a few specific things here, since we have a lot of games in this podcast, and I don't know if you guys have any interest whatsoever in this game series.
I know you're intrigued by this. That's about it. So
yeah, I like Jagged Alliance 2. I think it's my favorite game, like within this genre, like this like turn-based tactical genre. So I'm hopeful to do a good job with this. Did you say something, Jtegh?
I said I've never played any of these, but this kind of stuff looks fun. Like I like turn-based stuff, like Valkyria Chronicles and Fire Emblem.
Yeah. And And in this, it looks like they've been inspired by like modern games in this genre. For instance, in a little bit here, like right here, you can see them placing like Overwatch cones, which is basically the same. I think you could do it in like Gears Tactics, and I also want to say Phoenix Point lets you do a similar mechanic. I think in the original Jagged Alliance too, like you didn't specify a cone. Like characters would just like always react to stuff that was in front of them in a rather large like arc. Like during the presentation, they talked a lot about so basically like Jagged Alliance is basically this like two major components. You have the technical gameplay. You also have like an overall like meta mode, or what do you call it, where you see like a map of the entire game world. Like you move units between the maps, and you manage like your mercenaries. Like you buy new ones, and like you have money you have to manage and everything. I think they actually show the map briefly in this trailer, if I recall, or maybe not. But either way, like they talked a lot about that part of the game, and that sounds very faithful to how it worked, Jagged Alliance 2.
Can you pause for a second?
What?
This guy's name is Barry, and he kind of looks like Barry from RE1 with this hairline.
You know, he actually reminds me a bit more of Frank West.
Yeah, kinda as well.
You just put a camera around his neck.
I think
like especially when zoomed out, it looked like him.
I think he's a returning character from Dragon Ball. I think all of these, I think all of these are returning characters. From
Wait, hold the phone. This guy's called Steroid.
This guy's great. They got like a really good like a kind of Arnold like voice for a minute. Dragon too. He's a really cool guy.
Oh, wait, hang on. Zoom in on the bottom guy. Icewave. Does he remind you of anyone?
Is that like bootleg Sully?
Sully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowhere near as handsome, of course, but
yeah.
Raven looks very different compared to Giants too.
Raven does not remind me of anybody in particular.
Has there been more portraits? That's a new guy. He wasn't into. Grunty returns. He looks more like a geek this time.
That's not Gruntilda from Banjo-Kazooie.
Oda is new. Meltdown is old, but she looks very, very different in this game. He's a returning character.
Buns? Really? Buns?
Her name is Buns. I think she's Danish. I'm pretty sure she's Danish.
Oh. Well then.
I don't think her actress knows what a Danish accent is like, though.
Oh dear.
Some more returning characters. Smiley's new, though. But okay, so this is one specific thing I kind of want to mention a little bit, like kind of my biggest worry about the game, because like one thing I dislike with the new XCOM games compared to the old ones is that they're very simplistic when it comes to like the bullet simulation. I feel like that was a pretty like an interesting element with the old XCOM games, and also Jagged Alliance 2, where they like with those are old games. They actually have like a full 3D representation of the collision on the entire map, even though they're just like 2D isometric games. Like they're really in depth when it comes to bullet simulation, and they claim they're equally in depth in this game as well. But there's like certain things that doesn't make me think they're actually simulating like the bullets. Probably like this one part in this trailer I'm trying to find, but I forget where it even is. I'll just fast forward a little bit here. I don't think they've announced a release date for this game yet. And it's gonna have co-op as well, which seems like a surprising feature for this kind of game. Kind of curious what that'll play like.
That sounds like fun though.
I think it's here. I think it's here. So just like pay attention to what like Steroid is doing.
Well, it's not injecting steroids at the moment.
Every bullet is following the exact same trajectory. There's also like, I think that there's basically no signs in this entire trailer that bullets like interacting with the environment in any meaningful way. So I don't know. I'm just, it makes me feel slightly sus. I don't know. Because I don't know, that was just one part that I felt was very well implemented in all games. Oh, here we go. That's entire like map of the game. So this is basically like the other component of the game where you will like manage like mercenaries going between like cities, and like there will be quests in the cities. You might have to manage like militia and like train them. Like there's a lot of stuff to do on this map.
I feel like I would enjoy something like this.
I feel like I was gonna mention something else about this, but I forget. They did talk a lot about this during Gamescom, but I forget everything they mentioned.
Well, they talked about a lot of games at Gamescom.
Yeah, at least the developers, they are like very huge fans of the original games. So I feel like that's a pretty good sign. Oh yeah, like I remember like the original trailer. Like the real trailer for this last year, it actually showed when you were aiming, it showed percentages for like a hit chance. That is now removed. Like they talked about that at like Gamescom, where they decided that they would rather just keep that a complete mystery and like have the player just get a general feel of what will work and not work when it comes to shooting, which is a choice I'm not sure if I agree with. I like numbers. But I mean, and then again, I mean, Jagged Alliance 2 also didn't actually show hit chances. But I think I would personally prefer having that information available to the player.
You weren't allowed numbers back then.
I guess. At least it won't be like the new XCOM games would have numbers, but the numbers lie. Oh my god, that's just so stupid. It's there's many things that trigger me about the new XCOM game. But yeah. That's maybe we'll just move on. The more games, so many games, so many games.
Oh, this game.
Oh, this is not
Pinocchio Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Okay, it was very slow to load for me, but there we go. So yeah, this. What is that?
This is not a game I expected to see like happen like a Pinocchio Bloodborne.
Yeah,
style thing.
This is Lies of P for anyone watching.
Who's the developer behind this again?
I don't know.
I forgot.
To Google.
Yeah.
Lies of P developer. NeoWiz Games?
Never heard of them.
Oh, no,
yeah,
that's
maybe this is the first
sure.
game.
The developer is Round 8 Studio.
Never heard of them either. But yeah,
it does look very Bloodborne.
This is out relatively soon because they've already announced like PC system requirements for this game.
Okay.
So it must be out pretty soon.
Yeah, I went to the website and I think they've only made one game before this called Bless Unleashed.
Oh, really?
Wait, what?
Isn't that everyone that got shut down?
This can't be the same developer. That I mean, like, yeah, like, I think I remember almost remember the name of the developer for Bless. I don't think it's any of the names mentioned earlier.
Bless Unleashed.
Bless Unleashed. Well, Bless Online. That was the original release. That was just a complete disaster.
I don't recall Bless Unleashed faring any better. The Bless franchise just seems to be cursed.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This just like potentially looks neat. I don't think there's much specifically I can say about it personally, but I don't know, it looks potentially neat. The name, I'm not sure if I like Lies of P, right?
Yep.
That's a weird name. Maybe too weird for me.
Makes me wonder if there's like some weird copyright issues with Pinocchio.
Possibly. Wouldn't be surprised if that's some sort of like Disney thing where they own like the thing for that, and it's like the same thing with them pushing Winnie the Pooh into public domain. Like they wanted to avoid that, so maybe that's a thing here as well.
Well, maybe I'll just move on. Like, but this does look neat. Like I feel like I'm basically hoping it's like Bloodborne, but without the bullshit. That's I feel like I could get into something like that.
And also it's on PC, so you won't have as many tech issues to deal with.
Oh yeah, like yeah, Bloodborne is kind of just 30 FPS unless you mod the game, and even then you can't get like a perfect 60 FPS.
And chromatic aberration is forced on.
Oh yeah, that is also a icky thing. So just a fair warning, what you're about to hear is probably the best voice acting in any game of all time.
I don't know what this is.
Oops.
Are you shaking? Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh at all. Right here. Don't make me laugh.
Don't make me laugh.
Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh.
It almost makes you think like is this placeholder? Is this the dialogue you'll hear the enemies speak in the game?
Well, there actually was that clip of Liza P going that also sounded very placeholdery and bad.
Yeah.
What is this?
This is I think it's called Wanted Dead. I think it's directed by the guy who directed the Ninja Gaiden reboot for Xbox and their live games.
Wait, you mean Tomonobu Itagaki?
Yeah, I think he's the guy directing this game.
Ah.
And,
well, it looks just about as janky and bad as Devil's Third did.
It looks like it kinda could be fun. It does look pretty janky though. And that
It looks like silly janky fun.
Yeah, potentially. But actually, yeah, I don't know. Like the more I look at it, the more yeah, it does look janky.
Yeah, this just looks like Devil's Third all over again.
Devil's Third, that had like a cult following kind of. It didn't do well, but there were like quite a few people who said like the game was really good.
So bizarre.
Very.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about the game. I don't know much about it, but it's a mix of like third-person shooter and melee, and it looks kind of super janky. I think I read that the face model they use for the main character is the same face model they use for Quiet in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Well, can't comment on that because we can't see this lady's face.
Yeah.
I'd say it would probably be covered in blood from all the stabbies.
All I can tell is that she has a ponytail.
Does have a ponytail. Okay.
It just looks like Devil's Third again. I just see Devil's Third.
It does look very similar.
Devil's Fourth.
Exactly.
There's the full trailer for this looks very weird. There's like live action stuff in it. There's like I think a fishing minigame. Oh, I think there's a Icewave. There's a karaoke minigame in this game.
So what?
You can sing karaoke in this game. There's a minigame for it.
No, I'm sold.
But yeah,
decent ragdoll.
Yeah. Was that a party? Best game ever.
Did look like a parody.
Don't let her escape.
Okay, we can probably just move on. There are many trailers, so many trailers.
This could be the great.
Oh, it's Ubisoft. Okay, bye.
Did we talk about this in a podcast this year? I forget.
I don't think so. I don't think we did.
Is this Skull and Bones?
This is Skull and Bones. Like they actually fully re-revealed the game some months ago, and it's being released November. Is that? I think it's November, early November.
Yeah, for $70.
Yeah, it's a full-price game.
So,
Like
Sectus,
you wanted to fail.
Still excited for this, Sectus?
I mean, I think I'll probably just get like 1 month of Ubisoft Plus and then try it that way. I feel I don't know, like if they made Assassin's Creed 4 fully based on like pirate stuff as a multiplayer title, that sounds neat. I would be into that. And this, from what they've shown off, like it looks like it kind of has some similar gameplay, and that's cool pirate cats. I should have prepared that for this podcast, but there's some really cool pirate cats in this game. That's a really cool feature in this game.
Meow.
Like if you go, let's see, like here. During gameplay, you can have like a pet here, and you can have like cool pirate cats here. So that's how the pet mechanic works in this.
Okay then.
But like it's like an open world co-op thing where you can attack forts and sink ships and upgrade your stuff. And I think the big question is like how much content is there in this game? Like how quickly will it be same? I feel like that's the biggest worry about this game.
Well, there's two ways this could go. It'll either crash and burn like that Hyperscape Battle Royale game did, or it'll inexplicably live on for many, many years to come like For Honor did.
Yeah. I feel like I'll be surprised if it dies completely like Hyperscape. I feel like the reality will be somewhere in between.
Like, will it have the same charm that Sea of Thieves for some reason has? Like that it just captures an audience and just manages to hold a pretty decent sized audience for a while. I don't know if this is gonna have the same effect on people.
High rates.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves is very huge, but this seems to be a very kind of different kind, like style of game. Like for instance, here you are like you're in control of the entire boat. You're not just like a single person on the boat.
Yeah.
And there's no like roaming around on islands, fighting endless skeletons. This is very much focused on like the ship combat.
I don't know how long that's going to be interesting for.
Yeah. It's I don't know, it's kind of weird, the development for this game. I don't know why they rebooted it so many times. Like this was announced 2017, right?
Yeah, it's been stuck in development hell for a long time.
I think there's more stuff. I think I have more stuff. This is taking a while to load for me.
PlayStation.
Oh yeah, this game.
Oh.
Blade something, wasn't it?
Stellar Blade. It was previously called Project Eve, but now it is called Stellar Blade.
The first few frames when I saw this in the state of play, I thought it was like that Capcom thing, Pragmata, until until we like heard like a bunch of other stuff, and I was like, oh, I guess it isn't.
That's another game that's kind of disappeared as Pragmata. They said it was late to 2023, but that was it.
Yeah. Capcom is making so much stuff.
Yeah.
But they're busy.
So this game is made in Korea, and it looks to be kind of like a DMC inspired game, kind of like maybe also like Bayonetta or Nier Automata, inspired by those games too. What was happening to her boob bounce there?
Jiggle physics are kind of insane.
That just looks glitchy.
Maybe they aren't boobs; they're water balloons.
They also had a trailer for this last year at the Sony show. She stole Leon's jacket. But the gameplay here looks fancy. I like the look of the gameplay. I hope it plays well.
Fingers crossed.
I think the jiggle physics when she was shooting were also out of control.
But yeah, as Ryman mentioned, this was originally announced as Project Eve, so there's another like trailer of the game out there with the name Project Eve, and I think the real trailer is like quite a bit better than this because it shows off way more gameplay.
And this trailer confirms that this game is going to be a PlayStation console exclusive.
Yeah.
So no Xbox for this one.
Is it using Unreal Engine 5? Was that mentioned somewhere, or am I just crazy?
It's using Unreal Engine something, I think. I don't know if it's specifically 5. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's 5.
2023.
2023 just seems absolutely stacked full of games.
If you're curious what other games this developer has made, I made sure to include a trailer for one of them.
Humans who have been displaced from their
This is
homes
Goddess
or
of
been
Victory
coaxed refuge
for
underground.
smartphones.
The Ark.
Oh.
They've only, I think they've only ever made smartphone titles that are all gacha stuff.
Rapture, a mysterious
And
Quite a big
this
change up.
this game just looks weird. This game just looks weird. I'll just skip
Well,
to like gameplay here.
Maybe their gacha games made tons of money. Now that's why they were able to make Stellar Blade.
Yeah, I mean, smartphone market is kind of huge when it comes to gacha titles.
This looks like a gacha game. Alright.
It's a game. It's a weird game. It's a very weird game.
Yeah,
I think you can tell why they added
okay.
Blue Bounce to like Project Eve as well.
Yeah, the character design of Stellar Blade makes a lot more sense. now.
Yeah.
Bottle.
So
this is getting ridiculous.
yeah, I think we can move on. I feel. I think we can move on. So we just talked about Project Eve, which is like a DMC inspired game made in Asia with like a sci-fi setting. Well, turns out there's also Project DT, that's a game made in Asia with a sci-fi setting heavily inspired by DMC. I don't know, I just find it funny that two games with similar names and similar everything.
I've not seen this.
I don't think I have either.
When I watched the other trailer for the first time, I actually thought like it was this game, but they're actually two separate games. And yeah, this looks very DMC inspired.
This is activating neurons in my brain.
And also, there's another gameplay trailer for the game where you have like a style rank visible.
Metal Gear?
Visible on screen all the time. This is made in China, if I recall.
Colonel, this woman is punching a Metal Gear.
My God.
Yeah, this I want to try this. This looks potentially neat.
Yeah.
I like Devil May Cry. I want more games that play like Devil May Cry. I'm okay with it.
You could argue it's still an underserved market. It's basically
This is
just
not-
Devil May Cry and Bayonetta, and that's it.
This is not a recent announcement, by the way. I think this is this trailer is from like early 2021.
This podcast is going everywhere.
We have so many things that we're looking forward to.
Okay, so let's just move on. I think there's more stuff. Even the main character can look similar as Project Eve.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is the last stuff in the podcast
Hey,
set.
it's Street Fighter.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, there's no video here. I only included screenshots, but yeah, they had a huge stream earlier today where they went like super in depth with everything Street Fighter 6. I didn't pay that much attention to it. So I'm kind of hoping Icewave paid attention to it and can like explain what the hell we're looking at.
You are looking at the extreme battle mode, and now you're looking at Ken spitting all over your screen.
Okay. So what is the extreme battle mode?
It's basically a goofy, for fun, wacky versus mode where all kinds of weird gimmicks like this bull will charge into the player. So in this particular rule set, you don't have a life bar, but if you knock down your opponent 5 times, you win.
Okay.
And this bull helps with essentially, obviously you have to avoid that so you don't get knocked down by the bull, but you also have to make sure you don't get knocked down by the player. So it's like kind of back and forth with that. It's just wacky fun.
Monkey.
And there was like several rule sets they showed. They show one with the Mega Man enemy.
Oh yeah, that's
And they
like
showed
yeah,
the
one
Thor
with
from Mega
two.
Man, I think.
Yeah, like, I don't know what the enemy is called, but like the one with the helmet that like hides down these big bombs.
Yeah,
I
this
think
is
it's
the
a Metar.
Is this the same game mode?
Yeah,
This is
it's just different rule set.
yeah. You can bounce this bomb back and forth, and you have to like have it not be on your side when it goes boom.
That's
This is
a
like
big ship.
Tekken Ball, kinda.
Yeah, so he kind of is like Tekken Ball.
Those are big arms.
Guile has always been ripped.
And they're
I
American.
find it funny that Street Fighter brings back Tekken Ball before Tekken does.
Yeah, I hope it inspires Tekken 8 to bring it back.
Well,
And
there's,
yeah, they revealed E Honda from left to right. We have E Honda, Ken
Monkey
Masters,
Boy.
Blanca, and Dawson. And they all look incredible.
It's
and
really
Hyper,
it's really starting to
Is
hit
this
home
face,
how
Ken? Please.
he's just
I mean, that-
really
that's
wants to
Ken.
punch you.
He's hyper. And
And
Blanca's
yeah,
really
Blanca's just
scary, man.
cursed.
yeah, he's looking very ape-like with that face.
Terrifying.
I'm a bit realistic. Blanca's cursed.
What is that mouth doing?
He's
Augers.
posing for a selfie. It's
Well,
just
He's
duck
blowing fire.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
he's,
that
or he
is
wants to,
fire. Yeah, that is
or he's
fire.
wanting to give you a smooch. One of those two.
Oh,
So, outside of E Honda, these three have new English voice actors,
Oh.
which is unexpected in a way. Like, I didn't expect all three to get recast, but yeah, Ken, Blanca, and Dalsum have new voice actors in English.
so is it just a coincidence then that they replaced Ruben Lang? Like it's not because of all the controversies?
Could be a coincidence. It could also be Capcom being aware of stuff. And yeah,
Well, that's,
you have a
Oh.
closed beta
close
that
beta.
you can sign up for right now. That'll have full crossplay. It's available on all platforms.
I signed up already.
I also signed up. You have until I think October 5th to sign up.
I'll try to remember to
I
have a
think
link
that's when
in the
they'll
description.
announce who gets into the beta, October 5th. I think it
And I
could be
really,
a bit
really like,
earlier.
and I really like the training mode. It's a thing you can do because that's fun to mess around with.
I'm
Casual match, so if more of us
extreme
get
battle.
in, we can actually play together.
An extreme battle. We can do
I'm
this stupid, silly thing.
I'm honestly surprised they're okay with this.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised because I don't know, people mean there's been leaks about this game already, but people will be quick to data mine this. And
but-
also I feel like there's a chance that the PC version will mean that this date is kind of meaningless, especially since there are offline modes here. So I don't know.
Yeah, but Street Fighter 5 was also like that's beta. Its beta was also on Steam multiple times.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy it's on all platforms and crossplay from the get-go.
And hopefully, whatever people do, hopefully Capcom won't get too mad. Because I remember, like last year, when Blizzard had a beta for Diablo 2, and people managed to like mod the beta so it was fully playable offline. That just like the reaction from Blizzard at that point was to remove the direct IP multiplayer feature from the final game, which. Like they were not happy. They were not happy with what people did with the beta. They, I don't know. They kind of overreacted. Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah. You had the new commentators.
Moving right on.
Which
Oh, you
there's
have just something to say
look
about the
at them.
commentators?
Just that they have quite a few of those by now. I'm actually surprised.
So that's Ken.
And yeah, Ken, he looks good. His face looks good.
Ken,
He looks good.
He doesn't have banana hair anymore. Thank goodness.
That's Blanca.
Blanca terrifies me.
He looks like an ape.
There's a
Blanca-chan's back.
Blanca-chan. Yay. That's the best part.
Actually, it's the best part. I'm
Is it?
I'm really happy they
Fruit's supposed to
kept
be
the
there?
beard because I really like the beard look. Also, I think it suits him so well. So I'm actually really happy they kept that. And that's probably the best Yonda's ever looked. Like that's just such a good design for him.
I feel like he looks the most the most cartoony out of the characters so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. And yeah, oh yeah, they showed up so much of World Tour. This mod looks insane.
So it's like a single player RPG-ish thing, is that it?
Yeah.
Like you basically traverse the world. You can
create a
meet up
character.
Create a character with an incredibly extensive creator, and you go around different areas and all around the world to meet up with different Street Fighter characters, train them, learn their moves, and those moves can be used to traverse the world to get to new areas and unlock new paths. You can fight random people on the street and level up like an RPG, and some of those battles might be 1v1 or 1 versus a million.
It's actual fights in a Street Fighter game.
Yeah.
Does this say Snowball Planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But yeah, like where you meet the person, you just start a fight.
Yeah, that's what
Which
we
means
saw
that
in
the
the
game
trailer.
has a lot of stages by default, technically, by that.
Icewave?
Yeah.
Icewave.
What?
This mode right here. Are you saying that this is what Leave of Soul would have been if it had a budget?
No.
So bitter, so
Kinda.
bitter. Oh, there's a cat.
Meow.
Yeah.
It's a good face too, by the way.
Customization is just kind of insane. Like,
I mean, they
budget.
specifically said in
Oh, aye.
the stream that
Oh my gosh, Chun-Li's thigh.
they
You're well aware of
they
whose
borrowed from
thighs
other
it is.
Capcom
I know thighs when I see him.
studios for the character creator.
Yeah, I was just like, and yeah, this is like a little showcase. You're like just a random person you can meet in the street, and they challenge you and you fight.
Is Mario?
Yeah, the cap does look very Mario, doesn't
Again.
it?
And you can also see there's like levels, so there's a leveling system in this mode.
It's kind of nuts, like just how much budget and effort and whatnot's going into this game.
Tekken 8's got its work cut out for it.
Yeah, and I hope
Yeah.
it really makes me happy because I really hope it means Tekken 8 also like goes the extra mile because it's just a win for everybody.
This reminds me quite a bit of the single player mode in Mortal Kombat Deception, that has a similar mode where I'm not sure if you created your character, but you did like customize its moveset. You had a huge open world where you basically like fought anybody.
You played as Shu Jingo in Deception, so that was a set character.
Yeah, but I think you could like fully customize his moveset at least, like use any move you wanted.
I think you're right about that. But yeah, this
Kind of
game just
insane.
looks really good. I'm just continuously kind of just blown away when I see them. So stoked for this.
So, have they mentioned with the character that you create, are you selecting a fighting style, or are you just like, are you kind of like mixing and matching where you can like add like a Hadouken, but also add like Honda slaps?
I don't think they confirmed that specifically yet, but my guess is you can pick it, like mix and match stuff.
Oh.
So
Good.
you can have like
It's your favorite sectors.
Damage numbers.
Damage numbers.
Damage
Nice.
numbers.
That's weird to see in a fighting game, I have to be honest.
That's not that weird. You could do that with Noctis and Tekken 7.
Huh.
But my guess is like it's mix and match, so you can have like a Hadouken, and then you could have like your anti-air be like maybe Chun-Li's like up lightning kicks or like do spinning bird kick. That's my guess. I could be wrong.
If they want to prepare people for online play, I could kind of see them not doing it, just to make them more used to the movesets that are in the game.
Possible. But I do hope they let people go crazy, because that could be fun. That's Judy's move.
That is Judy's move.
You can tell because the character's expression is going crazy. And yeah, this is one of the cases where you fight multiple opponents.
So is this still part of the same like World Tour mode?
Yeah, this is still World Tour.
Okay.
Doing a Blanca move.
So is this a case of is this a normal fight, but there just happen to be more than one opponent, or does it also like scroll like a Final Fight game?
I think it plays out just like a normal fight. Just there's multiple opponents that'll happen.
However, in the trailer, there is something that looked very Final Fight. There was like a timer at the top of the screen, and you were going through a train car. It looked very Final
Yeah.
Fighty.
I think there might be mini games.
Does this game have every game mode?
It has
What
a
kind of
lot. It
budget did
also
they
has
have for
old
this?
games.
At the end of the trailer.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
wait,
this is
is
the
this
thing
a-
I was talking about.
Final
oh,
Fight,
there.
There's no
Finalist
health
Fight.
bars
Final
here,
Fight.
so it might
Oh my
actually
god,
be.
that dog.
But yeah, there was also like the mini game, of, like the staple of like breaking cars or like breaking a truck or something. But the fact
Seems
that there's
budget
no
as well.
health bars here makes me think this is like kind of alternate game mode rules, like that this is a
Yeah.
side-scroll beat 'em up suddenly.
Yeah,
Would be
it's
kinda
kind of weird
wild.
having the UI be so minimal. So is
Don't
this
much
supposed to be
budget.
like a small mini game then, and not like a major mode?
Possibly.
It might be a small thing that's part of World Tour. I'm not sure. I mean, this looks like a custom character up here,
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
and I'm pretty sure the custom character is all about the World Tour mode mostly.
And for your battle hub.
Oh yeah.
Tiger Stadium.
There was
That-
also
hmm?
a fancy like city hall building. I don't know if you'll have a screenshot of it here, but there was like a fancy city hall looking building that had Masters written on it.
So this
Look
is
at
the
all these
character
options.
creator.
Yep.
Sliders.
Lots and lots of sliders.
I've never been a huge fan of like this kind of character creator with just like 1 billion sliders.
Kind of insane though how much this has.
Is this the same character creator that's also for Extra Primal? No,
Think
that
this
was
is more in
I
depth.
think this might be more in depth.
when I say with
Yeah.
Extra Primal, you're like selecting presets, like I think, and not adjusting sliders.
I don't remember entirely. I think that might have had like a few sliders, but yeah, definitely nothing as in depth as this.
Is this a preview of the character creator for Dragon's Dogma 2?
I hope so.
That'd be fun if it was.
Those interiors look like textures.
They might be.
Well, you have to remember this is coming out for PS4.
More character creator. Oh yeah, this is gonna have fancy like mix colors
Yeah.
for the hair.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Kind of reminds me of I think the Black Desert character creator let you do the same thing with hair. Body paint color settings, face paint.
Looks so cool.
Everything. Chris Redfield.
Hey Chris, how you doing?
You can change the muscle definition.
I will say I do recognize that hairstyle. That's from Monster Hunter Rise.
So you can change from being muscular to muscular to muscular. Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
Well, it does say this is the muscle definition category.
There is also the body proportions option there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that would change the actual musculature of the body, whereas this just changed how defined the muscles are.
Look at it gently.
Ready
And
to
leave it.
teach you the spinning bird and probably many
Yes,
others.
please.
This just
Yeah,
looks like a
this is like
Saints
Go to the
Row.
shop.
It's about to say, is this a Saints Row character?
This looks so much like a Saints Row screenshot right now.
I think
This kind of looks more like Saints Row than Saints Row.
I think the store was called Dripping Style.
Oh, that's very Saints Row.
And here's the Battle Hub, which is a 100-player lobby.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's a lot.
So are these supposed to be players then? Do you see standing
Yep.
around?
These are all their avatars.
So I assume that's the same character that you create for the story mode.
Yep. And you can, obviously, those arcade machines you see at the front, that's for either ranked or casual matches. You can enter a tournament, you can take photos together, you can just chat and do emotes together. And then over at the Game Center, you can play a bunch of classic Capcom arcade games like Street Fighter 2.
Can you
And
tell
Final
what the
Fight.
games are here?
From an earlier trailer, we know that Alpha 2 was there, Street Fighter Alpha
Oh.
2, and Street Fighter 2, and Final Fight. So we know that's like 3 of them.
Is this the classic thing or rank thing?
That's not.
Oh, that's a
that's
rank
not
thing.
the classic
That's Street
thing.
Fighter 6. That's just Street Fighter 6.
Here comes a new
Wow.
challenger.
how much content there is in
These
this.
screens
Yeah,
look
it's
so
kind of
cool.
insane.
Look at that. Look at his budget.
Eyes are
Look at her thighs.
gigantic.
That's Chun-Li for you.
That's my girl.
Oh, here we go. This is
There's
the.
Final Fight.
So,
No,
Oh,
are these the
I saw
games that will
Captain
be playable?
Commando.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's
they're
quite a few
playable.
here.
So all
You
of this
gotta
again,
take
like
them
it's
playable.
going to be these games like Captain Commando, Wings, Final Fight. I don't even recognize like half the games.
It's just so cool. Like they don't have to do this, but they just do it. It's so cool.
this is great.
So are they saying that if you buy this game, there's no reason for you to buy Capcom Arcade Collection?
Well, we don't
there's
know
still
how.
There are still
don't-
games in that you know.
Yeah. Also, we don't know how how these emulations are feature-wise.
Or how they handle them.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
I mean, you
Oh,
can
gotcha.
like, for example, like you can play Doom and Doom 2 and Doom Eternal, but don't do that. It's not good. Oh yeah,
Is it
and
like
then this
posing?
is yeah, you
Yep,
can pose
just a
after
photo
you
op.
win.
Oh yes, yes. Original Guile. Oh, he looks beautiful. He's so gorgeous.
Go
That's
home and be a
beautiful.
family man.
This is
I'm-
so cute.
I'm digging pixel art Chun-Li as well.
And
Yeah,
this is the
buying
premium shop.
shoes?
This is where they did show that there's like going to be premium currency for
Oh
clothing.
no. Oh no.
I mean, you had to know this was coming, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be a catch, but I'm okay if that's the catch. That's pretty harmless.
Rawr.
Blanca.
I mean, if they really wanted to, like for the classic games or whatever, if they added more at some point, they could charge extra for that or something.
Yeah.
Like this game already seems to have an insane amount of content.
Jesus
It's kind of
crazy.
nuts. It makes me wish, like seeing this like, and it really makes me wish we could have one day or Soul Calibur with an actual good budget one of these decades.
Oh, if
Well,
Maybe a
so-
King of Fighters game could have it as well.
Well, KOF 15 looks like it had a good budget.
And it's not even remotely close to something like Super Fighter 5 or this.
Plus,
Like-
don't they have that matchmaking bug they still need to fix?
Oh, still haven't fixed that? Nice.
Oh,
Well, as
dear.
far as I'm aware, it's not fixed. Maybe it'll be fixed when the crossplay rolls out.
Nice.
This was actually the final thing I have for the podcast. We managed to get through everything.
That's fine. Like,
Yay!
we did a lot.
We did it.
We did all the things. Any final thoughts? Anything we forgot to mention about Street Fighter 6 or any of the other games?
I can't think of anything.
The Nintendo Direct had a lot of farming games.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
I had too many.
Out of all of them, the only one I had some interest in is Harvestella, which got a demo on Switch, which I've installed but barely got to try, so I can't really judge on that. But it looks like it's like it has like turn-based elements of like classic Final Fantasy with some relaxing, more Sims like stuff, like farming stuff. So I'm interested in giving demo a try.
I have
And
the
I
only
think,
farming game I need.
So we mentioned the RE showcase coming next month.
We did.
So
Yep.
there will probably also be more news about RE8 VR and RE4 there, and maybe other stuff. RE-verse, maybe?
Oh God, I forgot
They
that's a
won't-
thing.
They won't mention RE-verse. It'll come out, but they won't say
No,
why.
I
don't
feel like
say
Icewave
that,
is
I
right.
wanna
I feel
play
like
it.
Ariverse is going to come out. It's going to be the same thing as the beta from like last year. That is my
No.
prediction.
I'll still play it.
It's maybe like slightly more content, but I'm going to bet it's basically the same thing. I feel like
If
when
thi-
they're this quiet about it, like I feel like there's no way they did a huge overhaul of it.
If the game launches with the stuff I data mined, and they're like, "Oh, look at all this content we added," I'm gonna be pissed.
Ugh.
I'll just laugh.
I'll weep. I'll just go like, "Ugh."
So TGS is still happening, but I feel like it's unlikely there's going to be any other big news to come from it.
Oh,
But-
there was the Xbox showcase this morning.
Oh, did that have anything?
They had a few small things. Guilty Gear Strive is coming to Xbox. As
They
well as
showed
that.
the Persona ports.
Oh, they did. I think Ni no Kuni Remastered is coming to Xbox as well, and both that and Guilty Gear are going to be on Game Pass.
Yep, Ni no Kuni's already out,
Oh yeah, that was today.
but the sequel's in 2023.
There was a new trailer for that Capcom game Exoprimal, which showed
Oh,
a
yeah.
bit more, in quotations, story.
I just remembered. There's one more RGD Studios thing we have to mention.
Oh god.
Sega finally sorted something out, and you can play both Judgment and Lost Judgment on PC right now.
Oh
They're
yeah, they did
finally
just
out.
just suddenly released those.
Yeah, and it's it's a little pricey. If you want to get Judgment, Lost Judgment, and Lost Judgment's a DLC, it's like there's a bundle for £83. I mean, those are big games, so the cost makes sense. But goddamn, I don't have that kind of money right now. Yes, it looks a little jagged.
When will they solve hair rendering?
When they
Never.
come up with a new way of doing it, I think, because doing it this way just always seems to have this issue. Unless you crank up the resolution to like 16K or something, then it looks.
Yeah,
fine.
if you go crazy with like super sampling, then it's kind of fixed, I guess.
But you need your games to run at higher than 1 FPS, so that's not.
But yeah, next month Resident Evil Showcase, I'll definitely have a podcast about that, where I hopefully don't weep about the gameplay looking about like the melees being gone from RE4. That will make me sad.
I hope
That would be a mistake.
surely they would know what people like about that game, right? Surely.
Yeah, after all, they've re-released it 10 billion times.
In
I
VR,
weirdly
and they
trust them.
even kept the melees specifically in the VR version.
Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of RE4, that excellent fan-made HD texture pack got an update fixing some of the launch issues at last. Finally got around to installing it and trying it. Looks very nice.
Nice.
And combine it with the RE4 randomizer, which a lot of people have recently been playing,
Oh boy.
which is very fun to do. Oh, we haven't talked about the biggest news of the Xbox showcase sectors.
What?
Another version of Skyrim.
What?
I'm just
What?
They actually had Skyrim in this Xbox showcase this morning as one of the games, like an anniversary edition or something. Maybe it was like for the Japanese translation, but I tuned out because I was just laughing at the fact that they showed Skyrim in the showcase in 2022.
Anniversary edition's been out for a while. Yeah. Very old.
I mean, this game is almost 11 years old, and they showed it as if it was new.
Yeah, that's
it's kind of amazing, and yeah.
But yeah, I think that might be it. Is that it?
I think that might be it.
It ended up being a pretty beefy podcast. We kind of covered everything.
And it's
we
late.
talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting you to talk about stuff outside of TGS, so that threw me for a loop.
Yeah, I wanted to mention some of the stuff that we haven't like covered. But yeah, I guess I'll see peeps for the podcast next month about Resident Evil stuffs.
Yes.
Take care, everyone.
Yes.
Bye. Oh no, we're covering Icewave.
That's okay.